There are many sections of your home that are made or finished in wood. Windows, doors, and the trim pieces both inside and outside the house. Every few years they need to be painted to protect the wood and to give you the lovely finish that paint can provide. On new woods, ensure that the wood is smooth and free of dirt or resins and that all holes have been filled. The first painting step is to apply a primer. The primer contains linseed oils and other properties that soak into the wood, seal the pores in the surface, and keep the wood moist so that it won't crack over time, especially when in direct sunlight. 1 coat of primer is sufficient, and 16 hours drying time is a general recommendation, but check your manufacturer's requirements on the back of the can. Now, if your woods have been painted before, you don't need to prime them again. If the existing coat was with a water-based paint, you can skip the next step, which is undercoating. But if your existing coat was oil-based, you'll need to apply an undercoat. To test, rub some meths onto the paint surface. If paint comes away on your cloth, the coating is oil-based. If you don't see any paint on the cloth, the surface is water-based. The primer often lifts the grain of the wood. A very light sanding with 100 grit sandpaper will remove any roughness. This is known as de-nibbing. Next, apply an undercoat. Undercoats stick to anything. The undercoat will adhere to the surface of an oil-based primer, and a water-based top coat can be applied on top of the undercoat. The undercoat will attract the molecules of the top coat very much like Velcro to create a very strong bond. Undercoats are available with both oil and water bases. Ask your paint specialist for a recommendation for the type of wood that you're painting. Water-based paints are becoming more popular these days. They're environmentally friendly, easy to apply, and easy to clean. You just rinse your brush and roller covers in water. You don't have to use terps at all. And drying time is around 2 hours as opposed to the 16 hours needed for oil-based products. Some products cannot be changed, but there is a big move towards producing most paints in a water-based version these days. Once again, sand the wood very lightly to denib the surface and remove the dust from the surface of the wood before applying the top coat. If you use an eggshell or gloss enamel, an undercoat is necessary. However, if you use a product like Velvaglow, the undercoat can be skipped, as Velvaglow is self-undercoating. This will save a lot of work and quite a bit of money too, as you're cutting out a quarter of the work and buying less product. However, it's important to know that Velvaglow is oil-based and is not suitable for application in direct sunlight. Apply the top coat with a brush or roller. Large surfaces can be covered more quickly with a roller. A roller cover with a 5mm nap will leave a smooth finish. Sponge roller covers often work well, but can leave bubbles with certain paints. The smaller rollers can be very useful for wooden surfaces to get into areas that would not be practical for a large roller. Try a few roller covers and you'll soon find one that fits your needs. It's important to apply 2 top coats. It's better to apply 2 thin coats than 1 thick coat, and with 2 top coats, your wood will be properly protected for many years. Well, that's it. Prime, undercoat, and 2 top coats is the general standard for previously unpainted wood, and on wood that's been painted before, 2 top coats. If the existing coat was with a water-based paint, you can skip the next step, which is undercoating. But if your existing coat was oil-based, you'll need to apply an undercoat. We'll cover staining and varnishing woods in another program.